So, next area, we are now coming to our hips. Very important, just like everything else, the hip muscles and the hip joints, because this is the junction now, upper and lower body. Very important areas, a lot of muscles coming together, a lot of rotators, internal, external rotators, and what we find that those rotators can be very tight and limit the range of motion in one way, in one direction more than the other direction. Okay, so how do we start there? Okay, we're gonna start with the rotators here. I sit on the foam roller, right on the butt. If I, for example, wanna foam roll my right cheek, I'm gonna cross the same side leg over, hold on just here below the knee, keep my chest, have a good posture, support yourself with the other hand on the floor so you're nice and safe. And now I'm gonna slowly roll on my right cheek. What happens by crossing the leg over and keeping my knee up towards my chest, I get a little bit of a stretch on the tissue, okay? And it just helps me to get a little bit more out of the foam rolling. But we're gonna vary the positions as we continue here. So I go slowly up and down, and it's not a huge area to roll on, and usually you find 1 or 2 areas that are really tender most of the times. If you find one, you stay on it, maintain good posture, let the foam roller sink in. After that, small tiny little movements, just like we did it before, all the other areas. It's the same technique and same philosophy. For example, you can see I can bring my leg down. If, for example, if this is too much, I can keep my leg down and foam roll the area like this, with both feet down on the floor. I can come down on my elbow and come a little bit higher to the upper part of my glutes. This would be the glute medius part, whereas this would be the rotators, okay? This is the hip rotators, external rotators. If I come down, go on my elbow, I get my glute medius. I show them together because it's very close by in the same area, and it's always good to do them together at the same time, okay? And as you can see, I work now the upper part of the glute medius. The rotators are more at the center of the cheek here, okay? So when I do the glute medius and the glutes, now I go to the next area, which is same height on the hips. I just come around a little bit more, and I'm now a little bit on the outside of the hips. I'm now on this area here. Let me show it to you that you know. First, the mid-butt area for the rotators, glute medius up here. Now I'm going to the outside here, which then gives me the muscle, a small muscle here, which is called a TFL. TFL stands for tensor fasciae latae, and is the connection to the IT band, what we did earlier. Okay, IT band comes up, hip joint is here, and above the hip joint is now the TFL. Below the hip joint, it is the IT band. Okay, so this is a continuation all the way up on the outside of the hip. So let me go back onto the foam roll, and again, rotators, glute medius, rolling to the side for the TFL. Okay, and you always play around a little bit. As you can see, I go a little bit further around, a little bit less around. Just play around and see which part of that tissue area is the most tender. If I want to get now more pressure on there, you can see I have both feet on the floor. If I want to increase the pressure, I lift both legs up. Now I get more pressure on that area and can still play around with where, just looking on where is it the most tender. Let's say it's here, I hold it right there, keep my hands and forearms on the floor for support. Let the foam roller sink in, do small tiny little movements, and work those adhesions out of the tissue. Okay? Come back to the glute medius, like that, work it again, cover the whole area, go up, and that would cover the right cheek from top to bottom.